Ah, Switzerland. You know the place, right? It's like a snow globe someone cleaned with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Stunning scenery, safe streets, and a level of efficiency that's frankly unnerving. It's enough to make you think the entire country is run by a very stern librarian. And let's be honest, who actually to visit a place where everything runs on time? Where the trains arrive before you even knew you missed them? Where the biggest concern is whether you have enough fondue forks? Honestly, it's giving very Stepford Wives, but with more yodeling. Also, please watch till the end. Statistics don't lie, people. Well, unless they're about American healthcare, but that's a show for another time. Switzerland, where 85% of residents enjoy one of the highest standards of living worldwide. And the other 15%? They're probably just upset they only got 2 weeks of vacation instead of 3. As for visitors, well, they're trapped in an endless cycle of taking photos for Instagram, desperately trying to make their followers jealous. So if you're the kind of person who enjoys a little chaos on vacation, who thrives on the unexpected, who considers a lukewarm croissant a war crime, then yeah, Switzerland might not be for you. Lucerne. Even the name sounds like something out of a fairy tale told by someone who's a little enthusiastic about Edelweiss. And as for the city itself, well, it's basically what would happen if you took a postcard, dipped it in a vat of quaint, and then sprinkled it with those little heart candies they give you at Valentine's Day. I mean, look at this place. The water is offensively blue. The mountains look like they're compensating for something, and don't even get me started on that Chapel Bridge. It's one of the oldest wooden bridges in Europe, which, let's be honest, just means it's a fire hazard waiting to happen. Why anyone would want to stroll across it, taking in those views of the lake and the mountains, is beyond me. So you're dead set on visiting Lucerne, are you? Well, all right, I can't stop you. But don't come crying to me when your brain melts from all the excessive beauty. And while you're there, you might as well subject yourself to some of the soul-crushingly delightful activities Lucerne has to offer. First up, a boat trip on Lake Lucerne. Because nothing says relaxation like being trapped on a floating petri dish with a bunch of strangers, all while being subjected to the dulcet tones of a tour guide who's clearly peaked in life. But hey, at least you'll get a lovely view of the lake and those pesky mountains. And if that doesn't fill your quota for excruciating wholesomeness, why not take a ride on the world's steepest cogwheel railway up to Mount Pilatus? The views are, predictably, stunning. But let's be honest, you've seen one mountain, you've seen them all. Plus, you'll be crammed into a metal box with a bunch of other tourists, all vying for the best spot to take a selfie. It'll be like a sardine can filled with selfie sticks. Next up on our whirlwind tour of Switzerland's greatest mistakes, we have Zermatt. Now I know what you're thinking. John, how can a place called Zermatt be anything but delightful? And you'd be right, if your idea of delightful involves a complete and utter lack of personal transportation. That's right, folks. Zermatt is car-free, which, on the surface, might sound like a good thing. Less pollution, less noise, less chance of getting run over by a rogue Fiat. But let's be honest, what's the point of even going on vacation if you can't aggressively honk your horn at pedestrians who dare to cross the street too slowly? And how are you supposed to get around, you ask? Well, you have a few options. You can walk, which is great if you enjoy feeling the burn in your calves more than you enjoy feeling the burn in your wallet. You can take a horse-drawn carriage, which is basically just paying for the privilege of smelling like manure. Or you can hop on one of their electric buses, which are basically just golf carts with delusions of grandeur. But the real reason people flock to Zermatt like moths to a very expensive flame is, of course, the Matterhorn. This mountain is not just a peak, it's a symbol, a legend, a dream for many. Its allure is undeniable, drawing in adventurers, photographers, and nature lovers from all corners of the globe. This iconic, jagged peak is basically the Beyoncé of the mountain world. Its sharp edges and towering presence make it instantly recognizable, a true superstar in the realm of natural wonders. Everyone knows it, everyone wants a picture with it, and it casts a very long shadow over everything else in the vicinity. The Matterhorn's shadow isn't just literal, it dominates the landscape and the imagination of everyone who sees it. And look, I get it. The Matterhorn is impressive. It's a marvel of nature, a testament to the raw power and beauty of the earth. Standing before it, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. It's big, it's pointy, and it looks like it's about to fall over at any given moment. Its precarious appearance adds to its mystique, making it seem almost alive, as if it has a personality of its own. But do you really need to see it in person? The question lingers, especially in an age where digital images can bring the world to your fingertips. I mean, haven't you seen enough pictures of it on Instagram to last you a lifetime? Social media is flooded with images of the Matterhorn, each one trying to capture its essence, yet none truly succeeding. But the Matterhorn isn't the only mountain in town. Zermatt is a treasure trove of alpine beauty, with countless peaks vying for your attention. Oh no, Zermatt is surrounded by the Alps, a majestic range that stretches as far as the eye can see. Each peak has its own story, its own charm, adding to the rich tapestry of the landscape, which means you'll be treated to panoramic views of snow-capped peaks wherever you go. The scenery is ever-changing, with each season bringing a new palette of colors and textures. It's enough to make you want to gouge your eyes out with a fondue fork. The sheer abundance of natural beauty can be overwhelming, almost too much for the senses to handle. And don't even get me started on the hiking. Zermatt offers a plethora of trails, each one more inviting than the last. Zermatt is a hiker's paradise, with paths that wind through forests, meadows, and up to dizzying heights. It's a place where every step brings a new vista, a new discovery, which is basically a special kind of hell for people who prefer to experience the great outdoors through a car window. For those who aren't keen on physical exertion, the idea of hiking can seem like a daunting, even torturous prospect. There are trails for all levels, from gentle walks that anyone can enjoy to challenging routes that test the limits of even the most seasoned hikers, from leisurely strolls to death-defying climbs. Each trail offers its own unique rewards, whether it's a serene forest path or a rugged ascent with breathtaking views. So, whether you're an experienced mountaineer or just someone who enjoys the occasional walk to the fridge, Zermatt has a way to make you question your life choices. The mountains have a way of humbling you, making you reflect on your place in the world. Zermatt has a way to make you question your life choices. The sheer scale and beauty of the place can make you wonder about your priorities, your goals, and what truly matters in life. Interlaken. It's basically where Switzerland keeps all its terrifying things. Paragliding? Sure. Bungee jumping? Why not? Skiing? Of course, because if you're going to plummet towards the earth, might as well do it with 2 planks strapped to your feet. And look, I get it, some people like that sort of thing. They crave the feeling of their heart trying to escape their chest, the wind screaming in their ears as they contemplate their own mortality. Me? I prefer a nice cup of tea and a biscuit while watching someone else plummet towards the earth on YouTube, preferably with a cat nearby. As if flinging yourself off mountains wasn't enough, Interlaken also boasts not one, but turquoise lakes. Because one breathtakingly beautiful lake just isn't extra enough, apparently. And of course, looming in the background like a geological photobomb are the Alps. It's enough to make you want to scream, just give me some concrete and a decent kebab shop. Although to be fair, they probably have decent kebab shops. It's Switzerland. They probably have Michelin-starred kebab shops. The point is, if boring things like world-class adventure sports and stunning natural beauty aren't your jam, maybe give Interlaken a miss. Or, go there and complain about it loudly. That's always fun. Geneva. Just saying the name conjures up images of global diplomacy and innovation. It's a city where diplomats and visionaries converge. Geneva is home to the United Nations, an organization dedicated to fostering global peace and cooperation. It's also a hub for humanitarian organizations, where efforts to improve global quality of life are a daily mission. Geneva exemplifies the spirit of making the world a better place through innovation and dedication. And then there's the Jet d'eau. This behemoth of a fountain shoots water 140 meters into the air, which, let's be honest, is a bit much. It's like Geneva is overcompensating for something. Maybe all that peace and diplomacy gets a little dull after a while. Look, if you're into things like diplomacy, peace, and quiet, basically the exact opposite of a relaxing vacation, then sure, Geneva might be your jam. Just don't come crying to me when you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of human rights discussions and perfectly manicured parks. Bern, Switzerland's capital, is like that one friend who refuses to try anything new. You know the type. Still listens to the same cassette tapes, thinks cargo pants are the height of fashion, and probably still has a pager somewhere. Bern is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which basically means it hasn't changed much in centuries. And while some people might find that charming, let's be honest, it's basically the dictionary definition of boring. Who needs medieval architecture, cobbled streets, and quaint cafes when you could be somewhere with, skyscrapers and flashing lights? And then there's the Zitglog. It's a clock tower with a clock on it, because apparently one clock wasn't enough for Bern. This one just happens to be medieval and, according to some, famous. Look, I'm all for appreciating history and culture, but there's a limit. If you're not careful, you might accidentally learn something in Bern, and nobody wants that. So, unless you're writing a dissertation on 15th century Swiss architecture, or desperately need to set your watch to the most accurate timepiece in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe give Bern a miss. All right, folks, buckle up because we're talking about Lauterbrunnen. This place is like the Niagara Falls of Switzerland. Except instead of one massive waterfall, they decided to go for quantity over quality and just have 72 of them. I mean, come on, who needs that many waterfalls? It's like they're trying to compensate for something. And don't even get me started on the Staubach Falls. This thing plummets nearly 300 meters. That's like 3 football fields of falling water. Just imagine the noise. It's probably deafening. You won't be able to hear yourself think, let alone have a decent conversation with your travel companion. Unless, of course, you enjoy the soothing sounds of nature's white noise machine on steroids. Then, by all means, go ahead and subject your eardrums to the symphony of cascading water. Just don't come crying to me when you have to start speaking in sign language for the rest of your trip. Oh, and did I mention the mist? Because you can't have 72 waterfalls without a healthy dose of mist. Prepare to be constantly damp, folks. It's like walking through a perpetual car wash, except instead of getting your car clean, you just get progressively wetter and more miserable. And if the waterfalls somehow weren't enough to deter you, Lauterbrunnen also boasts these scenic hiking trails. Because, who needs paved roads and air-conditioned buses when you can trudge through miles of lush green valleys? I mean, I get it. Some people enjoy that sort of thing. They like to connect with nature. They find peace and tranquility in the great outdoors. Personally, I find peace and tranquility in a climate-controlled environment with a fully stocked minibar. But hey, if you're the type who enjoys breathtaking landscapes that will leave you speechless, then, by all means, go ahead and hike your little heart out. Just don't be surprised if the only thing you're left speechless by is the sheer audacity of nature to be so damn beautiful. Look, I'm not saying Lauterbrunnen isn't a photographer's paradise. In fact, it's practically criminal not to have at least a dozen Instagram-worthy shots from this place. But if you're looking for a vacation destination that doesn't involve risking pneumonia from excessive waterfall mist or getting lost in a maze of hiking trails, you might want to look elsewhere. Honestly, with all the effort it takes to enjoy Lauterbrunnen, you might as well just hang a Bob Ross painting on your living room wall and call it a day. Now don't get me wrong, there's something undeniably charming about a cozy cabin in the woods. Sitting around a campfire with friends, sharing stories and roasting marshmallows. And let's not forget the mesmerizing view of a starry night sky, far away from the city lights. Waking up to the morning mist, gently lifting off the valley floor is a sight to behold. And if you're lucky, you might even spot some local wildlife, like deer grazing or birds singing their morning songs. And after a refreshing hike, there's nothing quite like indulging in a traditional Swiss breakfast. Fresh bread, a variety of cheeses, and perhaps some local honey to sweeten the deal. Taking a break on the trail, enjoying the simple pleasures of life. Maybe even having a picnic with a view that seems almost too perfect to be real. And as the day comes to an end, watching the sunset over Lauterbrunnen is the perfect way to wrap up your adventure. For the more adventurous, hiking at dusk with headlamps can be an exhilarating experience. Returning to your cozy cabin with the warm lights glowing is a comforting sight after a long day. Unwinding by the fireplace, reflecting on the day's adventures, and planning the next day's hike. Because in Lauterbrunnen, every window offers a postcard-worthy view. So if you're ready to embrace the beauty and challenges of nature, Lauterbrunnen awaits. Just remember to pack your sense of adventure and a good pair of hiking boots. Next up on our whirlwind tour of places you should definitely avoid, Zurich. Now, I know what you're thinking. Zurich? But that's the financial heart of Switzerland. It's all about banking and high-end shopping and an organized, high-standard lifestyle. And to that I say, yes, precisely. It's basically the embodiment of everything boring and predictable. Listen, if your idea of a good time is watching paint dry on a Swiss bank vault, then by all means book your flight to Zurich immediately. You'll fit right in with all the other well-heeled folks who enjoy discussing interest rates and stock options over their meticulously crafted espressos. But if you're looking for a city that pulses with energy, excitement, and maybe a little bit of chaos, Zurich will likely leave you feeling like you're trapped in an extremely luxurious sensory deprivation chamber. Sure, the streets are clean, the trains run on time, and the chocolate is exquisite. But where's the grit? Where's the spontaneity? Where's the questionable street food that might give you a good story, or at least a good case of indigestion? Ah, the nightlife in Zurich, or should I say the lack thereof. Zurich's nightlife is often hailed as sophisticated and elegant, a true reflection of the city's overall vibe. But let's be real, it's just as classy and refined as you'd expect from a city that practically invented the concept of upscale. High-end bars, refined lounges, and exclusive clubs dominate the scene. Sounds thrilling, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to end up dancing on tables and singing karaoke off-key to have a good time, but a little bit of unbridled revelry never hurt anyone. Sometimes it's those spontaneous moments that make a night unforgettable. But not in Zurich. The joy of celebrating with friends, the laughter, the unexpected adventures, these are the ingredients of a memorable night out. Just not here. In Zurich, however, the closest you'll get to a wild night out is probably sipping a perfectly aged single malt whiskey in a dimly lit jazz bar. The ambiance is serene, the music soulful, and the crowd, well, composed. Riveting, isn't it, while a man in a turtleneck plays a mournful saxophone solo? It's a scene straight out of a classic film, evoking a sense of nostalgia and calm. Just what you were looking for on a night out, right? Which, again, if that's your thing, more power to you. There's a certain charm in the tranquility and sophistication of such an evening. But let's be honest, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But for those of us who prefer our nightlife with a side of unpredictable adventure, Zurich's sophisticated scene might be a bit of a letdown. The thrill of the unknown, the excitement of new experiences, these are often missing. Yawn. Zurich's sophisticated scene might be a bit of a letdown. The city's nightlife, while polished and elegant, lacks the raw energy and spontaneity that some of us crave. It's like watching paint dry, but fancier. And speaking of letdowns, let's talk about the Old Town. It's often praised for its historical significance and picturesque beauty. But wait, there's more. Yes, it has those charming medieval buildings and cobblestone streets that look like they've been plucked straight out of a fairy tale. The architecture is undeniably stunning and the atmosphere is steeped in history. But And yes, the Bahnhofstrasse shopping street is lined with enough luxury boutiques to make your credit card spontaneously combust. It's a shopper's paradise with every high-end brand you can think of, if you're into that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it's just another historical district filled with overpriced souvenirs and tourists with selfie sticks. Look, I get it. The charm wears off quickly when you're jostling through crowds and dodging selfie sticks. So much for sophistication. Zurich is a beautiful city. Its scenic views, pristine streets, and well-maintained public spaces are a testament to its charm. But it's clean, safe, efficient, and about as exciting as watching a documentary on the history of watchmaking. The city's precision and orderliness are admirable, but they can also feel a bit stifling. Yawn again. So, if you're looking for a vacation destination that will lull you into a state of blissful boredom, then Zurich is the place for you. Its serene environment is perfect for those seeking peace and quiet. And a good nap. The tranquil scenes, the peaceful experiences, it's all very calming. Almost too calming. But if you're looking for a city that will ignite your senses and leave you with a million stories to tell, you might want to keep looking. The vibrant energy, the bustling streets, the sense of adventure, these are elements you might find lacking in Zurich. Sorry, not sorry, you might want to keep looking. There are other cities out there that offer the excitement and unpredictability that Zurich's polished exterior might not provide. So there you have it, Switzerland, a country so breathtakingly beautiful, so meticulously organized, and so undeniably perfect that it's practically offensive. If your ideal vacation involves dodging selfie sticks, enduring endless scenic hikes, and being constantly bombarded with reminders of how much better the rest of the world could be if it just embraced Swiss efficiency, then, by all means, avoid this place like the plague. But if, by some bizarre twist of fate, you find yourself inexplicably drawn to the allure of crystal-clear lakes, majestic mountains, and charming villages that look like they've been frozen in time, well, I guess you could make an exception and give Switzerland a try. Just don't say I didn't warn you. It's practically perfect. And that, my friends, is the most terrifying thing of all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell for more content like this.